Welcome everyone, it's Caleb Reese at TennoArmory.com, and today we're going to bring you a build guide on Equinox. This build right here is going to be aimed around playing Equinox like a support class. So we're going to be playing him around his Pacify ability and debuffing all the enemies so that their attack speed is really slow, their movement speed is really slow, and the amount of damage they can output is dramatically decreased. Now if you don't know what Pacify does, when you use it, it's going to create an aura around Equinox, right? Any enemies inside will be affected by the Pacify and subsequently the Pacify augment, which we're going to be using. It's called Peaceful Provocation. And we're also going to be using Mend. So Pacify is going to be our debuff and Mend is going to be our heal. So let's go ahead and look over here to see how we're going to make this work. So we're going to want a good amount of range so that we can affect a large group of enemies. So right now I believe I'm at 30 meters. That's where I found is a pretty good sweet spot. Overextended and stretch are going to allow us to achieve this. Now you can use Cunning Drift, but Cunning Drift is one mod and it only provides 15 power range. So I chose to use Overextended only at rank 2 to give me 45 power range, so combined with the regular stretch will give me 30 meters. You can go higher, but just note that it's going to tank your power strength, and you need that. So now we need power strength because it's going to affect Peaceful Provocation. So what this does is this is what allows us to slow the enemy's attack speed and movement speed. So by default it's at 40%. So if our power strength is at 100, it's going to be slowing enemies by 40%. So we want to double that because the cap is 80. So we want 200 power strength. Doesn't matter how you get it or how you mod, you want 200 power strength. So I've chosen to go with Intensify, Transient Fortitude, and Power Drift, and then Blind Rage being the icing on the cake. So you don't have to use Blind Rage. Blind Rage gets me as close as possible to 200, but if you're going against higher level enemies, I recommend that you use a Redirection because you are pretty squishy if you don't have a squad with you. Now we also want to power efficiency as close to 175 as humanly possible. I've actually achieved exactly 175, and the reason why is because for every enemy inside, it's going to drain energy, right? So we want it as efficient as possible, and we'll look at some numbers right now, do some math, and you're going to see how big of a difference is if you only have 130 power range or 140 or anything below, and how big of an impact 175 efficiency actually brings to the table. Now, because for whatever reason, maybe because it's not a channel, I don't know, but during the Peaceful Provocation, while it's active, it does not stop Energy Siphon, and that does not stop the Xenoric focus. So I would highly suggest that you use Energy Siphon and the Xenoric, because the more enemies that are around you, the faster your energy is going to drain, and using those two in combination will pretty much offset it. It'll solve all your problems. So let's go take at the abilities just so you can see what you're going to be looking at here. You're going to have a range of 30 meters, which is really good. You're only going to be drained 13 energy per enemy, and that's amazing. And the MAME is going to, the Mend is going to take 6.13 energy per second, which is not bad in the grand scheme of things because you can just activate it, blow up a few enemies with a taunt or whatever other weapon you want, and then just hit Mend again, boom, everyone can heal. So let's go ahead and take this into a popular mission type. I'm gonna go into Draco here. I know. Before anyone says anything, I already know Draco, right? But it's just something that I know people are gonna be on that mission. It's just a mission I know they're gonna be able to join a squad, so we can have our teammates get hit. So one of the pros, or one of the cons about this build is that you need your teammates to get hit. You need to take damage in order for the buff to start. Because when you first cast your ability, it starts at 0. And you'll see what I mean in a minute. It's better if I just show you. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and cast Pacify. If you look at the top right, it says Peaceful Provocation. So right now the enemies, they're not going to be slowed at all, and they're not going to have their attack speed reduced at all. So as our squad and us, we're taking damage, that number will start to increase. It'll cap at 80, and once it hits 80, they'll be slowed by 80%. So that's the downside, right? You're gonna need to have your teammates and yourself, or just your teammates, get hit before you can really start seeing its effects. So right now I don't have redirection, so I gotta really pay attention to my health here. I'll try and do the best I can as I'm trying to fight all the enemies off. So we're just gonna try to do a 4 cap. We're not trying to do any type of experience shenanigans. We're just gonna play this as intended. The only thing I really want to showcase is getting that buff up. Oh, for some reason it dropped. There we go. Maybe I didn't cast it, or actually I hit the button again. Alright, so right now we're taking damage, and as you can see, the buff on the top, Peaceful Provocation, is increasing. It's 11% now. And we just gotta wait for that to get a lot larger. And remember, if we get hit, or if we notice that our squad is taking hit, you can always hit mend and heal everyone up. We're trying to play a support style, so I'm going to go ahead and purposely take damage right here. I'm at 100. I'm going to shoot an enemy. I'm going to go ahead and hit it, and then I'm back to 300%. So just keep an eye on your squad's energy, because you're not bringing damage to the table. You're just bringing crowd control and healing, okay? So let's get that number up higher. It's at 52%. Let's go look at some enemies and see what 52% does. Alright, so look at this guy right now. Look how slow this guy is. Look how slow his attack animations are. Look how slow his movement is. Okay? And now we're going to try and go closer to some more enemies. Or in our team, rather. I want to get this stacked up higher. Remember, your teammates and yourself, either you or your teammates, need to be in the aura. Obviously, you'll be in the aura. But if you want your teammates to help you stack it, you have to be near them while they take damage, so that the buff gets higher. So right now, I think I'm capped at 78 because I'm not at 100 or 200% power strength. I'm like at 190 something. So 70 is a cap for me, although 80 is the cap if you reach 200%. So now let's look at the enemies now. The second I get in range, look how slow they move. I'm going to move out of range. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and mark this guy. Okay, he's at 25 meters, so he's pretty slow right now. You see his attack animation and movement, he's really slow. And if we move closer, they get even slower. Look at these guys. I mean, it's ridiculous. They're not even moving. So just know that the reason why I pointed that out and I put the marker on there is because there is an effective drop off. So the closer you are, so let me get away. I want to illustrate this. So this guy is 9 meters away. The further away I get from him, the less effect they have from my ability. So, and you might think like, oh man, but it's at the very edge of the range, it's only halved. So if you're 80% slowing them, right? Then if you're slowing them by 80%, then that means that at the very edge of your ability, you're slowing them by 40, which is not bad, right? But look at this guy. I mean, it's ridiculous. He won't be able to do anything to me. So, taking a look at this, the way the ability works, you can already see that the best factions to use this against is going to be the Infested. Is going to be amazing because there are a lot of melee units and they don't have a lot of hit scan type projectiles. So you'll be able to get away with dodging a lot of damage. And also the Corpus. The Corpus use a lot of laser type weapons, and a lot of them are projectile based. And so you can get away with just simply not taking any damage. As long as you're moving, the projectiles won't hit you, and you'll be golden. So that's what I recommend playing against. Now, another thing I wanted to show you is, you know what? Next time I find a big group of enemies, I won't kill them. Just so you can see the energy drain is the last thing I want to show you. And of course, you're going to be able to play around with this on your own and see, let's see what happens if I don't have 175 energy efficiency. And you'll find out real quick that it's not very fun. So right now, I've got a few enemies around me, as you can see on my mini-map, at least 5 or 6. My energy is not really dropping at all. Here's a few more energy, enemies. I think there's about 10 here. Look at my energy right now, 218, 217. It's going down really slow. Okay, so you could even, to be honest, tank your efficiency a little more. You might be able to get away with, like, I don't know, I want to say maybe 155, because we still do have Xeneric, right? We haven't even used that. If I use Xeneric, like, my energy won't go down. It'll just stay capped all the time. And there are a lot of enemies right here. There's 1, 2. I just killed like 5 or 6 enemies. I mean, they're all getting CC. There's like 10 enemies, and the energy is just not going down. As you can see, Energy Siphon does its job, and you know, it only gets better if you pop your Xeneric Focus. So I think I've pretty much displayed everything I wanted to show you guys. Show you that it's viable, especially in a squad. I don't want to say you can't use this by yourself, but I would recommend, if you're going to do it by yourself, to use the sleep build, where using your second ability, you just put everything to sleep, and that's probably better for solo missions. But for group type scenarios, having a heal on demand, and being able to slow everything you guys are attacking to a crawl is just, this is way too good to pass up. I think it's like having a molecular prime almost. Obviously, you're not getting the damage boost, but the slow is there, the attack speed there, and remember that the enemies are doing 80% less damage. That's huge, right? The higher level you get, instead of getting one shot, all of a sudden you're not dying, right? I don't know. I feel like in my testing on all different type of mission types and endless defense and survival, it worked. It worked no matter what mission I was doing. So that's the end of the guide. I just wanted to share this with you. I didn't see very many Equinoxes being played nowadays, so hopefully this revitalizes your love for Equinox, or maybe even spikes some curiosity. Go jump into the game and build your own Equinox. As always, guys, I'll ask you to, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, and concerns, go drop them down in the comments below. And if you've got time, go check out more builds at tennoarmory.com. We're always uploading new builds every week. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.